What's good? What's good? So, taking a look at NAS, I was just reviewing the trade that we took as a squad this morning. I know I haven't dropped a video since the last update. We were kind of consolidating for a while, but that trade actually played out the way we wanted it to. Right? It took almost a whole week of price sitting in the same spot before it flew off, came back to the same zone. But before that, again, this was this morning, Wednesday, October 9th, New York session, right? We actually took these trades live. I should have recorded the call, but we took these trades live, right? And then over 200 pips captured from this move. And the reason why we took these trades is, again, we had the setup right over here. We had the liquidity being built up right in here. And then after that liquidity was built up, we swept these lows, right? And then we broke structure to the upside. And then once price came back down in this area, it gave us more liquidity. We swept it, okay? And then we broke structure again, broke these highs, retested back at the original entry. Super sniper, price took off. And again, this is the actual example just drawn out on this side. If I were to draw this out, you would see it, boom. Liquidity, we have lows, we have highs. We swept the lows, broke above, price did its thing, consolidated, and then flew. Super solid. So let me just go ahead and review what happened over the past couple days. It's been a very interesting structure. It's been very interesting price action. I love it. I'm here for it. Stick to your guns, stand on business. But let me go to the 4 hour real quick. Take this off, take that off. Again, we're still holding 20,000, right? Because actually, let's check the monthly time frame. If you look at last month, we actually closed above 20,000. That's a psychological number. It's a whole number, 10,000, 20, 30. Okay, we even have 21's another possible target. It's 1,000 pips. Okay, but we did break above 20,000, and we also broke above the previous month high. Okay, this is the wick. We got the trend line tool here, and then we just drew a trend line from the previous monthly high, and we notice in September, okay, we closed with a full body candle above the August high candle. And if you look back here in June, we didn't close above the next month in July. We wicked above, but we never closed above. So that's why it was important to, maybe look for some sells. And as you see, price did sell off from 20,000 almost all the way back down to 17. Almost 3,000 pips. But what did it sell off to? It sold off to a previous low. Boom. Okay. Price swept the liquidity here at the monthly low here and then flew all the way back up above 20K and closed above. That's almost 3,000 pips of manipulation within the markets. Okay. That's how they manipulate you. Liquidity to liquidity. People ask, oh, where's your entry? Oh, actually, where's your stop loss? Oh, my stop loss is right here at this low. Well, you know what? Well, that's going to be my entry. Okay. That's what smart money says. Your stop loss is my entry. So if we know that price likes to move from liquidity to liquidity, wouldn't it make sense to put your entry in a location where you know they want to target, which is the highs and lows of the market? And if we're uptrending in a bullish market, more than likely they will target previous lows before they go to the next high. And you can back test this on your own. You can look at that on your own. Boom, more lows attacked. It just keeps happening over and over again. Lows attacked. Right here, lows attacked. These lows attacked. It just happens over and over. But go ahead and back test that for yourself. Now looking at the weekly, well, actually prices approaching the previous monthly high. I know a lot of people are looking to sell right here, right? That's perfectly fine. Price could very well sell. How far down? Who knows? But we're still holding 20K. So anything 20K and above, I'm still looking for buys, even if the price does sell off. We still want to be holding the buy sentiment because we haven't closed beneath 20K. So going to the weekly, looking at the weekly, again, we see that we swept some weekly lows, right? We swept some weekly lows. We broke above some previous monthly highs, some previous highs here. Again, you see it above 20K. And then going down to the daily, we see more structure. And we were here for a while. We were here since the 20th of September. And it took about 18 days. Okay, almost 3 weeks of consolidation here for price to finally take off, right? We were here originally. This was the original setup. Boom, you're in profit. And then boom, back to break even. And then boom, you're in profit. And then boom, back to break even. Over and over, multiple times. And then price flew. Okay, don't be afraid if price comes back to your entries or your stop loss in this situation or these lows. Don't be afraid because that's how they manipulate you. This is 18 days of manipulation before they decided to finally break structure to the upside. And is this the next target? We're going to find out. Now we're on the 4 hour. Again, you see it more clear. And then as you know, this is the setup. We have lows, we have highs, we have consolidation. And then we swept the lows with this wick. Broke above with this full body candle above these highs. Came back for the retest. Couldn't quite break above 20K. Came back for another retest. And then finally broke above. Came back again for another retest. Multiple times. Multiple days. And then took off. Okay, this is what they do. You have to be aware of this. That's how they get into your mind. That's how they psych you out. That's how they pour doubt. So then you don't enter again. Or it probably stopped you out 27 times. And you're like, oh, I'm good. But I mean, getting stopped out 27 times is crazy. But, it probably stopped you out one time too many. Enough to not allow you to take this trade anymore because you thought it was over. But that's nothing more than accumulation. That's Wyckoff accumulation right there. That's how they need to create liquidity in order to move price. After they sweep it. So now we're looking here, and as we see, we broke above more highs. We broke above these highs here. We broke above these highs there. Okay, we broke above these highs over here. These highs, and now maybe these are the next targets. Maybe this is the previous monthly high. Like I said before, the previous monthly high. Boom. Maybe that's the target. This is the previous weekly high, right? So the red represents the month, the yellow represents the week, and the green lines represent the day. So the previous monthly high, the previous weekly high, another miscellaneous high. Okay, we have more highs here, the previous daily lows right here, and the previous day high. I know it's a lot to consume. Maybe we can dive deeper on this if you guys let me know in the comments. If there's anything that I ever discussed that needs more clarification, let me know. I'll do a whole separate video going more in depth just on that one specific topic. And then if you use the Fibonacci and draw it from, the previous day low to the high, maybe price wants to hit the previous monthly high up here and then sell off a little bit and back into some more buys. Maybe we may hit this area and fill in some more imbalance. That just so happens to be at the 50%, 618. Maybe. You never know. I'm here for it though. I have buy limits set up pretty much in between the low and the high. And of course, this was the setup from this morning. This was the entry 6 a.m. on the NAS calls, live trading every Wednesday. That's where we took the trade as a squad together. Okay, and if you go down to the smaller time frames, you see it more. You see, again, the same setup that I was discussing in the beginning, the same thing that we did. Very textbook, very, very solid. Again, we had the liquidity, we had lows and highs being built up right in here in between 20,500 and 20,100. Again, notice how price reacts around these whole numbers, these quarter levels. Very interesting. We sweep the lows, we sweep beneath 20,050, and then we break above. Boom. And then we slowly trickle our way back down, give another setup, sweep that, break above, retest, gone, plays around. 6 a.m. NAS call, gone. Gone. Super, super solid. And again, just notice how price reacts. After it sweeps these major daily, weekly, and monthly lows, how price tends to react with little to no drawdown and then just reverses in the opposite direction. That's insane. Right? That's insane. That's how they like to move price, from liquidity to liquidity. And it makes sense. It makes sense now when they say your stop loss is my entry. Now that makes more sense. And this is just the NASDAQ. Look at US 30. Same thing. You know, if you trade the Dow Jones, same thing. Gone. Price flew. Look at SPX. S&P 500. Same thing. We swept the lows, stopped people out, barely any drawdown here. Gone. So again, back test this on all your charts, whatever you like to do. Just one more thing. What does this look like? Is this an uptrend? Right, we have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, another higher high. Excuse my throat. Like, sheesh, something's in there as soon as I'm talking. Boom. And then go down to the 4 hour. Same thing. You see it more clear. Right, we have a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Boom, possible higher highs. So don't get discouraged. I know you see price maybe selling off sometimes here and there, but as long as we're maintaining structure, we're still good. Right? Higher low, higher high, higher low, which just so happens to be the red line, which is the previous monthly low. And then boom, the higher high, which just so happens to be another red line, which is the previous monthly high. Interesting. Okay, and you know, this area up here actually was very, very high risk as well. Now, the reason why I say that is because if you draw the Fibonacci from the previous monthly low to the previous monthly high, you know, we didn't really tap into the 50% discount range. We didn't really get down here. I was anticipating that once price was, you know, back here multiple times, I was like, oh, maybe it wants to drop off with some news, spike down and push back up, but we never did. And it doesn't have to hit the 50%, but it's always better. It's more safe. You know, there's more ease on the mind once price does run. Because if you take a look here, you also have the month before last month, that previous low and high. And once I drag that out, we see price did indeed come back to the 50% and 618, which is fine. Maybe that was enough pullback for price to really run in that direction. Okay, because what I do know is when price does give you a low and then a high and then it retraces back to the 50% or the 618, this is a fairly normal trend. Okay, if it goes deeper to the 71 or the 78 down any lower, then that means this uptrend is very weak because sellers were able to come in and push it well past 50%. So sellers were gaining extreme amounts of control, almost wiping out the entire move. That's why they say it's a weak trend as you go beneath the 50%. But if you don't go to the 50% and you go only to the 382, which is similar to what happened here, if I go back to what I was on before with this Fibonacci, from the previous month low to the high, once we came back, we didn't even get down to the 50. So if price does it from here and takes off, that means the trend is very strong. Why? Because the buyers are in so much control. The sellers were not able to even get it down to half off. You couldn't even get it half off. So the buyers are in much control here with this push to the upside. So that's why you can see a major reaction. So do keep that in mind as you progress throughout your journey. Price is pushing now. Currently, we're still holding these positions from this morning setups. Of course, we took some partials along the way, took some profits. Price ran over 200 pips. So you want to pay yourself. Okay. So if price does want to peekaboo to the top and then sweep down and give us some more buy opportunities, sure, I'll take that. But until further ado, that's pretty much what it is. Stay tuned for the next one.